So, welcoming all of you to the Chitta full moon night. Okay, this is a very special session that I'm doing, and it feels amazing to see all of you all together. The kind of energy you all bring to this work is simply phenomenal. Like, it's beyond words. And I want to take 5 minutes to acknowledge the inner warrior in each one of you. Okay. We often get stuck in a lot of revelations that keep happening during the sessions. We don't really know how to celebrate what we are doing. We don't know how to acknowledge the transformation that's happening. It's so inner, so personal, and we are so used to getting validation all our lives that we don't realize how to do it for ourselves. So let me just take 5 minutes to just be the mirror for all of you, to show you the innate inner capacity you all have, the inner warrior within you that is willing to go beyond logic, to go beyond structures, to go beyond all point of views that puts you down. And incessantly you are willing to show up, to create a difference, to set on your own path, to create your unique life, and to let your spirit be your authority and nobody else. That is what you all have been doing. And on this full moon night, where anyway the receiving is so open, I request all of you to close your eyes and breathe into this receiving, where you tell yourself that I fucking acknowledge my inner warrior. I don't need validation of any form. My own choices have been my validation. Every time I choose to show up differently, I choose to respond with love, I choose to respond with abundance and not lack. Each of those attempts exhibits my inner warrior. And visualize this inner warrior. How does it look like? And just keep it with you for now. Just see, how does this inner warrior looks like? How does warrior Devesh, warrior Sonal, warrior Priyanka, and warrior Mayank look like? And breathe with this part of you. And acknowledge and affirm to yourself and say this mentally to yourself, that I have the innate willingness and capacity to set out on my own path. I am willing to believe that my spirit is free and I am my own authority. And just observe, make a note, how does this feel to your body when you say this to yourself? And now visualize the full moon. Visualize whatever image comes to you when you think of a full moon, look at that. And open your heart to receive from this energy. And you now tell yourself that I'm willing to see my divine essence. Whatever it means to me, it will show up, but I'm willing to see it. and simply let this travel in your body. Let this travel to each cell, to the edges of your skin. And slowly you can open your eyes. Just in one word, I request all of you to type how you feel when you say this to yourself. You know, when you acknowledge your inner warrior, when you receive all of this, just one word, whatever word comes to you. Just one word, Mayank, to express how you feel when you say this to yourself. Okay. Mayank, you can say if you don't feel like typing it out.
I said abundant.
Abundant, okay. So one feels powerful, one feels super light, one feels there's constant fight, one feels abundant, and I feel expansive. I feel super expansive when I say this, you know, as if now I have choices of my life. You know, it's like if I believe in this, if I'm willing to believe that I am my own authority, and if I'm willing to believe that I have what it takes to set on my own path, I don't have to copy anybody. Maybe I've idolized people growing up, right? There were so many people whom we would have seen and we would have thought कि, you know, इसके जैसा life तो सही लग रहा है, या इसके जैसा life तो सही लग रहा है. We must have had those things. But now, if I am willing to believe that I have what it takes to set out on my own path, it gives me one thing for sure, which is choice. Right? When I'm trying to be like somebody else, I will have to make choices like them. When I'm not my own authority, then I will be making choices according to whatever authority I've kept above me. So what I lose in that process is my power of choice. Right? How many of you here would like to have power of choice in every moment of your life? All of you? Yeah? Mayank?
Sure. Not sure.
Not sure?
Well, I just want things to happen, like serendipity. I don't want to keep deciding.
All right. So when I want just things to happen, then anything can happen actually. You know, serendipity can come in any way then. It's like, so there are two ways to look at life. There are two categories actually. One who always keeps saying that life has happened to me. And one who will say, I have been co-creating my life. Even though there is nothing, I would say, that you can control, you can still have power of choice, and you can still have what it takes to create your most abundant life. When I say power of choice, okay, when I say power of choice, it means if I'm getting something which I don't want, I can say no also. It means I have clarity. It means I have clarity of things that I would like to have and I would not like to have. most of the times when I don't have clarity, I will not want power of choice. Yeah, because I might feel ki I will choose something bad for myself, right? So once I start getting clarity, choice is so inevitable. We are born. So now I'll go a level below. Okay? I'll go a level below. And I want to talk about death. Okay? And it came to me like, and I will come to, gradually I will come to the message that I received when I was in Khatu Sham temple, and I was like in a very different energy where I could see all of you living your most. One is where I'm praying for each one of you, right? This time, while I was in that prayer, I could literally see each one of you living that life. I could feel that energy. I could see each one of you one by one and then all together. And it was like a whole thing that happened with me. And that was so expansive. It felt so inevitable that ये होना ही है. आप लोगों के मानने की देरी है. You know, it's like, how do I believe that this will happen with me is the main problem. Nothing else is the problem. The main problem is where we are not willing to believe that this is possible, where I live a life where I have everything that I desire. ये कैसे हो सकता है? As if, you know, it's too good to be true. That sort of a thing that is blocking in some way. Okay. And I'll come back to it, you know, maybe during the end once again. But abhi I'm coming back again to death. Why death? Okay. And what does it even mean to set out on my own path? And what does it mean to say that I am my own authority? You know, why is it so important? We are born as human beings and we live a very individual experience when we are human beings, right? We have individual body structures. We have individual point of views. We have our own routines. We have our own ways of looking at life. Okay. Now that can be seen as an illusion or as your superpower. Okay. So there's something called personal will and there's something called systemic will. You all know that I work from a systemic lens. All of you know that by now, right? And I give a lot of weightage on systems that we come from. And some of the times you all might have had questions like, what about other forms of therapy and why systemic? And, you know, what does it give? जो कि बाकी form नहीं दे रहा हमें, you know, so why systemic? And what is systemic will? So when I worked in my own training, in my own family constellation training, in my own system, I also did a lot of past life explorations. I also did a lot of other forms of therapy. But when I did systemic work, since our bodies come from our system, you get your body from your mom, from your dad. And each and everything that forms your body is coming from your system. Until you have a systemic lens for your life, it is very difficult to understand what is happening with me. Why is it happening with me? Even though I don't want it, even though I want something else, what is blocking me? Why is my body, what is my body vibrating at? That comes from system. There are so many people who work on past life explorations again and again, but they are unable to implement and embody those changes. When I did Chitta, my main focus was embodiment. You got to embody and accept and implement changes. Otherwise, khali gyan, only logic, how will that even suffice? So I never discourage people for past life work or anything. But if you are telling me that I will not do systemic work, I will probably not take you as a client. Okay, because my idea is to let you have that sense of transformation in your body, and not just here, and not just as a tool to chat and gossip with others, whereas your life remains in the same pattern. So that is the shift that systemic lens brings. And why does it happen? Is because of the systemic will. So I'm coming to a very technical order of family, okay? Which is any human being born in a family system will do whatever it takes to feel included and belonged in the system. Okay. And that need is way more greater than your personal will, than your personal plans. Everything that you plan in your life, that I will do this degree, I will marry this person, I will do this job, I will do this business, I will have this much of money. We have our own dreams, right? A personal will with which we have always been working. All of that shifts, all of that breaks down, all of that has to die somehow, because there is a systemic will that is operating at a very subconscious level, that is governing your choices, that is governing your life, that is governing everything that you're attracting in life. And once we become conscious of it, whenever we do systemic work, what happens is we become conscious, right? We simply become conscious that, okay, this is the belief that I'm carrying. This is the person that I have identified with. This is the person that I have, somehow emulated in my life. What does that do? What does that do? I want to tell today, what does that even, why do you all feel difference in your life? Okay, whatever difference you are feeling, why do you even feel that? The moment you identify, the moment you see that thing coming up, the moment you become conscious of your systemic will, it actually breaks the pattern. It breaks the pattern right there. And all of your suppressed emotions, they start coming up, and you start seeing them differently now. You don't feel the need to project as much as you were doing before. Even if you are projecting now, the intensity drops right there. In every session, in every process, like you all have gone through a lot of processes with me, right? At an individual level, all of those processes right there. Whenever you went through a process, you broke a pattern. You changed the cycle. You brought yourself closer to fulfillment, to abundance. And if you don't acknowledge that, if you don't celebrate that, after a point, it stops happening in a way. You don't have to look for anybody else's validation, even physical validation of anything, for simply to realize the changes that has already happened. Okay. The brain will keep telling that, as if my old plan has to work for me to believe that this is working. The point is, all your old plans are almost coming to a sort of expansion, and it has to go to a certain form of grieving or death in a way that will lead to expansion. For example, when I did my CA and I worked in Deloitte, I did my articleship and I was qualified. When I left my job, my salary was 20 lakhs per annum. Okay. And I actually dreamt of becoming a partner in the corporate industry. And that was my old dream. Okay. I used to feel that I will be a very big partner. I will have this cabin and etc. etc. Not going further. Okay. And little did I know that my heart aches for this. When I saw all of you popping up today on screen together, the kind of feeling I had, nahi aata wo partner banke. मुझे मालूम है, like I know that even if nobody else in my family or friends or relatives will understand this, I don't need anyone to understand, because my heart has finally found some level of clarity, at least in some space of my life. बहुत कुछ अभी भी गड़बड़ है जो मुझे देखना है, ठीक करना है लाइफ में, because it's a ongoing process. But if I'm willing to believe, no matter what, that I will do whatever it takes to set my unique path, and I will realize what I'm here for. We are all here for something. We cannot go into denial of that, especially now that you're part of Chitta, now that you have already gone through such level of transformation and you're in between. It's like a transition point, a tipping point. Sometimes there's a tipping point, where I don't know where I can go to the other end or I should stay here. It feels scary. It's unknown. I didn't know life will show me this. None of you would have planned of joining Chitta one day, right? That was never the plan. The plan was something else. But how did this experience make you feel? Even though it was not the plan, we get stuck with plans. We are unable to realize, we are, how to put this? It takes a while to accept that my plans can fail only because there are bigger plans for me. When my plans fail, it feels like something terrible has happened. I am having to choose things that I never thought I will have to choose. And especially self-work comes from a state of helplessness most of the time, when I feel as if I don't have an option, because I'm going through so much of overwhelm in life, going through so much of sadness, anger, whatever it is. It comes from a very victim state in a way. And when I choose something from victim state, it becomes difficult to realize that this is amazing, actually. And this is giving me something that feels like a treasure, that feels like something that is helping me and supporting me. I have this inner dialogue now. You all have an inner dialogue now, which you didn't have before. Am I right when I say this?
Yes.
Huh.
No,
Yes,
I have to leave. I have to leave. Sorry.
No worries. Thank you for joining, and I will share the recording with you. Yeah, I will, Devesh. I will. Okay. So, where was I? Anyone?
Inner dialogue.
Inner dialogue. Inner dialogue.
Right, right. Thank you. So, we all now have an inner dialogue which we did not have before. Do you know how precious is that? Most of the people around you, no matter what age or experience they have, how much money they have, how much validation they have, but you might feel that I still don't want to be like them. I love what is happening with me, and I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to let my life be something else, which is my own. I don't have to seek any form of validation. I don't have to seek any form of external worth, so as to say, from relationships, from money, from family. No one gets to tell me how my life should be. And that is my birthright, actually. That has nothing to do with being selfish or rude. These are all point of views that others will feel, especially people who are unable to get what I'm experiencing. Right? It's only few, like we understand, even though we don't know each other, we all understand how it is. And sometimes people whom you have lived with for years and years, they will not get you. And that is not a wrongness of you or them. That is just as is. The more you try to make a story out of it, the more you try to blame yourself or them, the more you try to make them understand, the more you try to seek support from them, you end up losing your own essence, your own energy, and that's all it does to you. So the idea is to find an inner force that will be your validation. That's all. Find that. Don't look for it outside. You are living your life, and your willingness, you have come here in this space because you wanted to create a life that you want to create. You did not tell your peers to go and do this for you. You did not tell your partners ki yaar mere behalf pe kar lo na Chitta. You are not doing that because you know ki if I have to do something and be something in my life, it has to happen through me. Hence, I am doing this work. I'm not telling someone to go as a proxy for me. Will that work? You send in your proxy next time. So it is incredibly important for all of us to clap, applaud, and value the work we are doing. Okay. And sometimes the situations will be very adverse. Even more, it will feel more adverse because my lens has become very broad now. I see things from a systemic lens now. I see everything in a situation. Pehle, if I was talking with someone earlier, when you were talking with somebody, you will not see everything like you see now. And it becomes heavy sometimes because you're trying to control. Just because you have a lens doesn't mean you get to control. You still need to understand everybody will go at their pace. I need to value my pace. I need to completely keep myself in my boundary so that I can see my life and make choices for my life. I'll give you one very crazy example from my life where, so I have grown up in a very isolated way where I used to spend time with my books and I will study or I will go out with friends, but I will not stay at home for a long period of time. I did not like staying at home. Sorry. And now my work, my life has shaped in a way that I'm at home all the time. All the time. And I kind of enjoy it. Maybe I wanted this. Maybe I never wanted to be in a corporate life where I become the partner and I stay out of home all the time. Maybe I never wanted that. Who was I emulating? Whose unfulfilled desire was I living? And the more I did my work, I realized it was my father. It is my father's expectation and dream of his own life. My father did his CA. My father is also a CA. And he wanted to have a very, very abundant life. He wanted to have his own practice. He wanted to go all in and everything. But then he had a wife and 3 kids and his, old mother who is not well. So many things. And he gave up his dreams. He did not go for it all in. He created a good life, but not the one he wanted to create. And ever since I stepped into CA, I wanted to be all those things that he couldn't be. And it felt like my own. That is what systemic will does. Systemic will make you feel, yeah, I get it, Devesh. Systemic will make you feel that it is your own desire, that it is your own, and that is what you want in life. But if it is not giving you ease, if it is not giving you joy, it cannot be what you want. The biggest symptom or the biggest, hack to understand whether this is for me or not is to simply check, how am I feeling when I'm having these desires? Am I feeling I have to do a lot of hard work and hustle? Or do I feel I'm going to have fun and it's going to be awesome? I've had so many client relationships in my corporate life, which were clients like big companies like ITC, like Tata. I've worked with so many large names in some or the other capacity, as an auditor, as a consultant, whatever designations I was into. And none of that gave me the satisfaction that working with one client in this work gives me. None of that gave me that level of fulfillment that I receive when I simply see someone living what they wanted to live. And someone coming back and telling me that, I don't feel fear anymore. I feel I can do what I want. When I hear those things, I feel this is the best testimony I can have. And I did not know that I want this. The main thing about setting on your own path is you don't know what that looks like. You have to drop the how. The moment I say this, you'll say how, but how will this happen? How will I know? How will I this? How will I that? A lot of hows will show up. And the main learning of life, not Chitta, life. The main learning of life is to get rid of the how. And it's not easy, but it's very fulfilling. Once you get there, it becomes damn easy. Life was supposed to be simple and easy. It was not supposed to be a lot of hard work and hustle and exhaustion and fatigue, and then getting a disease or having a life insurance plan that will cover for you when you go to the hospital, and you should save all the money, otherwise money to khatam ho jayega. No, that is not life. Life is about creation. Life is about finding your purpose here and then living it. The moment your spirit becomes conscious to you, it's there. It just have to be conscious, right? So the moment your purpose becomes conscious to you, and it's not going to be in a one word way. Okay. For example, I'll give you an example. I have gone through 5 past life explorations for myself. And every exploration has given me a lot of insight, because I have a lot of चुल को क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में? चुल को क्या बोलते हैं? क्या मयंक is on mute.
बोल चुल समझ गए.
चुल समझ गए.
अर्ज
क्या अर्ज नहीं यार, अर्ज में कवर नहीं
कर रहा है, वो इमोशन कैप्चर नहीं कर रहा है.
It's a lot of so I always wanted to know why. Okay, that was my thing, that why.
Yeah.
I have to go to the root of everything. मेरे को हो रहा है तो हो क्यों रहा है? Like that was my chul. And I went into so much aggressive trainings. Like I was like, I will not just get it done, I will know ये होता कैसे है. मेरे को जानना ही होगा कि ये होता कैसे, तब शांति मिलेगा शायद. I didn't know back then that I am doing all of this to be this agent of change on this planet. I did not know. And this is just the beginning for me also. I don't know where will this take me, how many paths will I explore. But what has happened in last 4 years is I have become very comfortable with unknown. I know life में unknown ही है, known कुछ है ही नहीं. वो myth था. It was a huge myth that things are known in life and I can plan. I can have a loose structure for sure, but it has to align with the larger plan. Otherwise, what's the point? One of my past life explorations, coming back to purpose, and it's not in one word, or itna easy nahi hai wo grasp karna, but once you grasp it, it becomes very easy. So for me, every past life exploration comes with a purpose portion where you explore what was your purpose in that life, whether you were able to meet that, and now how does it align with this life, and all those parts which makes you aware कि purpose बोल के भी कोई चीज होती है. It's not like we are here ऐसे ही and nothing, बस ऐसे ही आके बस job करना है और पैसे कमाने और चले जाने, ऐसा नहीं है. Okay. For me, once when I was trying to, I went to to the training, and I was like, I want to know why am I here, and I want to know this life's purpose now. And the purpose came as being human. All right. My purpose is to become human. And that made me question कि मैं machine हूँ मतलब.
आपका बर्थडे पर एक बीइंग ह्यूमन टी-शर्ट गिफ्ट कर रहा है, आपको ऐसे बीइंग ह्यूमन लिखा हुआ.
It made me, I was like, abhi tak I laugh at it. And that day, I was laughing like anything. What the fuck? What is this purpose? Being human? ये क्या ऐसे लगता है ना, purpose कुछ बहुत ही अलग होगा, क्या purpose मिलेगा और ये और वो, ये क्या purpose हुआ भाई? Being human. And now I realize the profundity of it, because my spirit knows the meaning of it. Dheere dheere it is becoming clear to me, what does it even mean? I can't even begin to tell you how much I'm realizing what it means to be human, and how much this planet needs to know that they just need to be human. Being human simply means embracing all your emotions. Being human doesn't mean you are in a race. You are simply living. And that is so profound in a way. I'm realizing it slowly, bit by bit, but it's tough. It's like all my life, I have strived for I was so ambitious, and I have strived for so much that getting my purpose in 2 words, and that too like this, it shattered me actually. It shattered my old identities. It shattered my beliefs. इतना प्लानिंग का अब क्या करे? अगर ये 2 वर्ड मेरा पर्पस है, तो आज तक जो मैंने ढांचा खड़ा किया है अपने अंदर, my whole psyche, my whole idea of doing things in a certain way, it is all broken down. That all has to die for me to just be human and live in my human body and not bother about anything else, and simply do whatever comes with that. Whatever I'm doing right now is coming somewhere from my purpose of being human. Like very recently, I realized that being human is connected to being a woman also, because I have a woman body. So I have to connect to my femininity in some way that I have ignored all my life. Like even, Sonal, Mayank calls me bro. And even Devesh calls me like mazak mein ki na bro jaisa hai. And I have always liked it. But the thing is, I am not a bro. I like it. And I have befriended that part of me, and I love it. But that cannot be my only identity. That will limit the potential I'm born with. मैं इसको डिसरिगार्ड नहीं कर रही, मैं अभी भी बहुत मजे लेती हूँ, मैं अभी भी वैसे बात करती हूँ because I like it, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to limit my life to that. I am born with a womb. I have to honor womb. I have to honor the life that my body wants. My spirit wants me to realize this. And I very recently realized this, and I started, doing something about it. And it is so making me feel light in some way. Like it's been 1 month. 1 month. It's been 1 month and 1 week now, right? 1st February, I started doing something about it. And in 1 month, I'm seeing a shift in me. Like the way I look at myself in the mirror has changed a little. And that is what life is. अपना ट्रिप लेना होता है, खुद का ट्रिप लेना है. आप लोग में से कौन अपना ट्रिप लेते हैं? अपने काम का नहीं, अपना पैसा का नहीं, अपने प्यार का नहीं, सिर्फ खुद का ट्रिप लेना. And when I say ट्रिप लेना is like खुद का बस खुद का मजा लेना. पूरे दिन अपना मजा लिया जा सकता है बिना कुछ किए. रहन दो देवेश. रहन दो.
आज कुछ दिन से नहीं हो रहा होगा, but I used to.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. We are all trying and shifting to that. But I'm making it very bluntly clear today that that is what life is. If you don't know how to love yourself every moment, no matter what is happening, कोई जिएगा, कोई मरेगा, पैसा डूबेगा, पैसा आएगा, फिर कभी कोई चिल्लाएगा, कभी कोई प्यार करेगा. We are not going to be dependent on all of that, right? चाहे बाहर कुछ भी हो, मेरा प्यार खुद के लिए अटल हो सकता है क्या? You know, I say this in English, someone.
तो बोलना कि वो इंग्लिश तो समझ रहे हैं ना.
No, true. All of us here are getting it. So my love for me has to be undying till the day I die. And it will not be controlled by anything outside of me. I will learn how to manage. We are learning how to manage. We are learning how to make things conscious, how to be there for ourselves. But we cannot control our life. Don't control. You got to live your life. You don't have to control it. Very recently, Priyesh was sharing something with me. And there was this sentence that came that we are actually not taking breath. We are receiving breath. If you think about it, you are not taking breath. You're not taking anything. Every moment, some portal is giving you this breath and you are receiving it.
Wow.
So how, and you're breathing every moment of your life, right? If you are willing to receive your breath in a loving, accepting, receiving way, you will be willing to receive whatever life is here to offer you. And the moment you say taking it, the moment do you see the difference in between the energy of taking and receiving? And we are often so addicted to taking everything that we forget what even it feels like to receive. रिसीव करते ही तो बोझ लगने लगता है. जैसे कोई कुछ दिया मुझे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द मोमेंट आई गिव यू समथिंग, यू विल वांट अ रीजन फर्स्ट. You will tell that reason though, and then you will be like, no, this feels heavy, then I have to give you something back. Because we are all here, we're trying to take something, we are trying to establish some sort of logic, some sort of parity. But if you look at the journey of your soul, if you don't look at life from a narrow lens, and if you look at your life from a very expansive lens, and you know you are on a journey, and this is not where it begins exactly, you will know that you are receiving for so many reasons. Why will you have to even question your receiving? You don't know why you are part of Chitta. You allowed yourself to receive it. And just like this, you are allowing everything to receive, and you have to stop blaming. You have to stop doubting yourself. There's a lot of self-doubt that comes up. Okay, in this work, especially in transition times, when the old is transitioning to new, when a lot of things we are letting go, and a lot of things we are trying to adapt to, a lot of self-doubt comes up. But what is self-doubt? If you see, what is self-doubt? Self-doubt is simply a state where I'm unable to let go of my old identities. I'm unable to let go of my old beliefs. I'm trying to maybe rush myself into the new identity. You cannot rush. You have to be very slow, very kind. You have to be in a state where you can recognize, applaud every shift you have gone through. The more you look for physical validation, the more the universe will not give it to you. Because you have chosen an authentic path. Because you have chosen a path where you want life to be very expansive, abundant, joyous at the same time, filled with ease at the same time. So when you want all of that, the training, the universe is training you. I am simply a medium. You are also watching so many other things. You are thinking so many different things. So the universe is at your training, right? And there are so many portals that are open for you now. So you need to receive that training with open arms. That yes, I have maybe this trainer. If you see universe as your trainer, maybe this trainer is not a tangible, visible trainer, but that is what the unknown, when you are trained to handle unknown, your trainer will also appear like that, right? Your trainer will not appear like you think it should appear. So please be open. Please acknowledge the role of your higher self, your soul, your spirit, your energy fields, the universe that is working for you all the time. Even though you keep doubting, there is a power that is working for you all the time. All your ancestors, they are your first line of protection. No matter however you are, in whatever situation you are, they are always working for you. So why do I need validation? Why do I feel that I need some sort of people pleasing? Why do I want 10 people to come and tell me that, wow, what you're doing is incredibly awesome? And why can't I do that for myself? And why can't I find spaces that will do that for me? There are many spaces around you where this is happening, where you can just enroll, be a part of, and you will see everybody cheering for you, and you'll be like, ye kya hai? Ye kaun si jagah aa gaye hum? Like this happens with me in ATIPS. When I, whenever I am in ATIPS doing any call or anything, the energy is such, everybody is cheering for everybody. And it gives me a lot of assurance. And I have chosen that space for me. It feels like my safe space. Like Dr. Gaurav has always been like that for me. And he was the one who took me to my first regression. Actually, my first regression was done by Dr. Gaurav. And the kind of safety I feel with him, I don't even listen to people who tell me कि तुम क्यों सारा गौरव का workshops करना है तुमको, हो तो गया अब, for example, that your life is okay and all. And I'm like, thank you. And it's like, if I feel somebody is my safe space, sometimes I don't even ask गौरव कि आपके workshop का क्या नाम है. वो बोलते हैं इस दिन को हो रहा है, and I'm like कि please मेरा तो लिख लेना नाम. I'm like, whether I come or not, even if I'm not available on that day, I will still enroll. I'm that kind of, person. कि अगर मेरे को कोई मिला ही नहीं था पहले तो लाइफ में, अब मिल गया तो इसको तो मैं नहीं छोड़ रही अभी. अभी तो मेरे को अभी टाइम लगेगा. Even after 4 years, I know it will take time. Why do I have to leave these spaces? We stick with our parents for our whole life. We stick with our partners for years and years. But when it comes to a mentor who is there for me, who is guiding me, who is giving me what I need, I start questioning everything. Because it is my receiving issue. It is not about them. I don't know how to receive. I am trying to prove my worth. I am not willing to believe that my worth is inherent. If you are not proving your worth, you will live a very different life, believe me. Very different one. बाहर कुछ नहीं बदलेगा. मैं नहीं बोल रही बाहर कुछ बदलेगा इसमें. But you will see things so differently right from where you are. None of your choice will come from a space of getting validation. None of your choice will come from a space of pleasing anybody or proving your worth to anybody, or coming to why do we do that? I was talking about systemic will. What does systemic will tells us? Maybe it tells us that we need to do all of this to belong, to feel included, to feel like a part of the herd. As human beings, there is a deep, deep craving of feeling connected with each other, okay, of feeling belonged. No matter how independent you make yourself, you still will crave some form of connection. Okay. The craving is so strong that we don't even realize how we end up giving our own selves in that process. We end up forgetting who we are. We end up believing that maybe we are wrong. Maybe our worth is not inherent. Maybe I'll have to prove myself. We end up believing these things. These things are not true. They are not factual. And in essence, you don't have to do any of this to belong, because you are part of the system. You belong, full stop. You are born into your system, right? You did not choose it. Your system chose you. Because you being you is what the system requires. अब जो trauma जो पहले process नहीं हुआ वो process करना पड़ रहा है, that is different. But your system is only giving you the healing capacity, not just the trauma or not just the redundant beliefs. It is also giving you the power to heal. Okay? दोनों एक ही portal से आ रहे हैं. So what will I see? Will I keep looking at the redundant structures, or will I look at the wisdom beneath that? For example, I never used to like going to temple. Okay, coming to, so it's already 10. If someone has to leave, they can leave. I will take another.
Just give me 5 minutes. I'll be back. I'm not leaving. I'm just stepping away from my system.
No worries. And if someone has to leave, they can leave. I'll take another 10-15 minutes. Okay. So coming to the temple one, I never used to like going to temples because I never used to like the shore. I never used to like, so I have a very high sensitivity to loud places or even someone talking loudly. I become, my nervous system goes like snaps down. It like shuts down. And there are a lot of things that has culminated to that, but it's simply now I simply see it as a very high sensitivity. Okay. I don't see it as a problem. I don't see it as my flaw. I see it as my feature. Okay. Now, what does that give me? Flaw nahi manne se kya ho jayega? You know, what will it even give me? So let me give you a tangible example of what your belief can give you. Why am I telling you to believe that you are going to set your own path? That you are your authority? Why believing in yourself is so important, and it's not just a phrase. Okay. I used to believe that I don't like temples because of the sound and the loud noise. And I like to be in a silent meditative zone. And I was very okay with that belief. When I started doing this work, I started reading some stuff. I started researching some stuff, and I realized that temples are actually high energy grounds. They are like some places that are there for years and years, and they have like, you know, consecrated energies. Like if you go to Kashi, there are so many stories. Like I've seen videos in and out about Kashi. I have seen so much about, you know, Kailash and Kedarnath and places where things have been unaltered even in natural calamities. So think of the high energies they have. So what happens is when you step into those high energy grounds, your inner demons or inner fears, okay, demons is not what I would like to bring. It's actually just fear. Okay, when we say inner demons, we try to again intellectualize ki kya hota hai. Let's not go there. Whatever your inner fears, whatever your suppressed fears are, they come up. So when I used to say earlier ki loud, I don't like temples because of the shore and the loud things. It's simply my own inner suppression of not being able to deal with loud noises, not being able to deal with my own anger. Actually, I used to feel that I'm not angry at all, that I don't get angry at anything. That was like my thing. People used to tell me in school that I'm the most polite person. I just, I'm the best because I don't get angry and vagera, vagera. I have had all sorts of compliments and validation because of not getting angry, by the way. Even in my relationships, even in my family. And that made me further suppress any form of anger because I'm getting validated. I'm getting belongingness. People are loving me for this. So why getting angry? But that anger, under, it was like, even if I don't know, it will cause destruction of some form, right? Because every person feels all emotions. So my purpose being human comes back here that I cannot suppress any emotion. The emotion I suppress will start curating my life. Then I am not my authority. My anger became my authority. How did it become my authority? It did not let me enter into temples. One reason. It made me believe that I don't like temples. Okay? For the longest time. I have only recently realized in last 3 years, I would say, that I love going to all such historical temples. And I would like to go to one maybe every week if I can. अब तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है that, ऐसा feeling है मेरे अंदर, simply because I don't know about any deity, I don't know about their history or anything, but I know there is something about high energy grounds. When I go there, I feel something which is different. I think something which is different. And this time when I was in Khatu Sham temple, my systemic lens gave me such a beautiful experience. I started remembering my Nana's life, whose last wish was to go to Khatu before he died. And he wanted to go there. And my mom was with him during that time. And she told me how my Nana, who was not able to even stand or do anything during his last days, he could stand straight in that temple. And the way he was looking at the whole thing, actually, I'm not going to the details, but I was reminded of that this time. I was not preoccupied with the people around me who were really shouting at the peak of their voices, where they are actually just celebrating. Even when someone is shouting Jai Shri Sham, and when everybody is shouting and it at that peak, I get scared, my old version. This time, even though I was feeling those sensations, that fear was coming up, but I did not shut down. I could still receive whatever that ground was willing to give me. I could see my innate love of these high energy grounds coming from my maternal side, coming from my Nana. And then my mom told me about my Per Nana, who was said to have, so there's this line jo bolte na ki, ki inme East hai. It's like, have you heard that? Okay, Mayank has not heard. So उनके लिए ऐसे बोला जाता था कि उनके अंदर श्याम बाबा का ईस्ट है. East is like, it's like having a portal where Sham Baba is communicating through him. It's like having that, जैसे when you say that Pittar Ana, ancestors ka ana, when you say that, it's similar to that, but in this case, it's like, because it's not a family ancestor exactly, and it is Sham Baba, so the word I think is East instead of anything else, is what I understand. There can be many things around it. So I came to know about these stories when I became open to my love for temples. And I'm getting to know more and more now how it was never true that I don't like temples. And just like this, there are many things that we tell ourselves, which is not true. Most of the times, the things that you say you don't like are the things you like. Okay. So don't make conclusions in life, please. Please. मतलब मैं कैसे बोलूँ और ये एकदम मतलब मेरे आत्मा से निकल के आ जा रहा है on this full moon night, because whatever I'm saying, whatever you're listening today, you don't even know how beautifully it's landing in your system. You know, it is, I know that. And it will create whatever it has to create. That's the power of days like this. And I also want to meet, I was thinking of meeting on every new moon and full moon, which is twice a month, because for me, these 2 days are the most profound days of the whole month. And I would love to share a piece of that with you. If someday I am unable to take a call like this, maybe I will share a voice note, but I would love to have sessions on full moon and new moon, and I will put that in a message on just one day before, not before that, because I don't know how much will I be ready to take it. But I am in a very, very much receiving zone actually, because giving is nothing but receiving. Giving is nothing but receiving. Believe me, there's only one word if you ask me. The more you are open to receive, the planet will take whatever it has to take from you. You are not giving anything to anyone. You only need to learn to receive from this life, from this planet, from whatever you can. And then the giving that happens, even that is a surprise for you. Like this whole session is a surprise for me. And I have trained myself like that so that I can enjoy the unknown. So you can train yourself. Training ही तो करना है, education तो कर ही लेंगे. उससे क्या डरना? Right? अगर मैं 4 साल में ऐसे बैठी हूँ, so you know, Sonal, Devesh knows me since childhood. Okay. And Mayank knows me since I actually met Mayank during my CA days. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And Sonal is someone whom I have met in this, like in this work when I was doing that workshop, Becoming an Invitation to Money.
Yeah,
and even
still.
Priyanka, I have met as in this work, like as a client. But these two, I have seen them before even I knew what is mental health, what is belief, what is anything. I mean, मेरे को ये सब कुछ नहीं पता था, nothing. They have seen my old version. And tell me, both of you, I want to know from both of you, how do you feel when you see me changing whatever change you see? मेरे को नहीं पता what you see, right? When you see my old version and new version. So what do you think about what is possible when you see me? मुझे 4 साल हुआ है total. If you look at linear time is 4 years. Okay. So tell me, just by seeing my old version and my new version, what does it tell you about possibility of life? हाँ बोलो देवेश, आगे आ रहे हैं, बोलो.
Actually, हम कभी भी वो पहले देखता था ना घर पे या कभी भी, यू आर ऑलवेज वर्किंग. मतलब एकदम ही, मतलब आप ऑफिस से आया, लैपटॉप खोला, वापस कुछ एक्सेल में करने लग गया. इट वाज लाइक दैट ओनली ऑल द टाइम. मतलब मेरे को लगता था कोई आदमी इतना काम कैसे कर सकता है. इट वाज लाइक दैट. एंड सीइंग यू, मतलब सबसे पहले तो एक्चुअली में इट वाज अ शॉक टू मी कि जब मैं मालूम पड़ा कि आप सीए छोड़ रहा है. दैट टाइम आई वाज नॉट इन दिस वर्क. आई डिडंट न्यू कि आप क्या कर रहे हो. बट सीइंग यू नाउ एंड इट इज जस्ट, मतलब ऐसा है कि लाइफ में कुछ भी हो सकता है. इट इज, यू कैन नॉट प्लान, यू नो, थिंग्स कैन टर्न अराउंड एंड बी जस्ट द वे इट शुड बी. समटाइम्स
लाइफ में कुछ भी पॉसिबल है, जो मैं चाहूं और जो मैं सोचूं उससे भी बियॉन्ड, लिटरली. तुम सोचेगा ना, मैंने सोचना, मैं आजकल कोई प्लान भी बनाती हूँ ना, रेवेन्यू गोल और एनी गोल और एनीथिंग, मैं उसके संग प्लस अननोन लिख देती हूँ पेपर में कि भाई हो सकता है कि यूनिवर्स मेरे को 10 गुना देने वाला हो.
हाँ, राइट.
I will not limit. Even if I plan cannot be my limitation. My plan cannot be my limitation. All of you think of this as a golden rule of life. My plan is my plan because it gives me a way of working, right? It gives me a way of operating. That's okay. But every day, am I open to newer possibilities? Every day. हो सकता है मेरा plan कल फिर change हो जाए. Like today, somebody contacted me from ATIPS and they told me that, Shruti, I feel you are really short selling on marriage school. You should charge more. And this price is not something that you should charge. Or ekdam aise, you know, that she is telling me. And I was like, I did not reject it. I became open to it. My brain started giving me, but you have announced it, but this has happened, but that has happened. Because my brain is wired in a certain way. But I cannot keep identifying with my brain. My life is not coming from my rigid point of views. My life is coming from a very different space. So even though I had these thoughts, I told myself that I'm going to think about this. I'm going to open myself. And if I genuinely feel I should change, I will take necessary actions. If I don't feel I should change, I will find the reason that will make me feel light. But I don't have to reject anything, any new possibility. Every day I wake up and I ask myself, what new can happen today? Every day I ask without fail. Without fail. And that is what keeps me going. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि अब मैं कंडीशन लगा दूंगी उस दिन पे कि आज क्यों नहीं हुआ, मैं हर दिन मांगती रहूं क्या, मैं मांगती हो गई हूं क्या? No, your life, you can keep asking. Like I ask a lot now. I was a person who never asked for anything in life. Never. I would always give, but not ask. I did not have any concept of receiving. Nothing. Today, I know I can ask, and I don't ask with humans. मैं human beings, मेरे को पता है मेरे को देने वाला कोई और है. Every human is a medium. But देने वाला इंसान है, ये कभी मान ही नहीं सकते तुम, समझ के रखना है इसको, you know, life में. If you think somebody is coming and giving you something and that is their debt on you, then it will certainly be a debt for you because you believed it. But if I believe that this person is giving me this because the universe is the sender and this person is the portal. Like, let me tell you one very interesting story, okay? And anyone can leave if they have to leave, okay? That goes without saying. So when I was leaving EY and for this work, like I was transitioning to this work and my last job was with EY GDS and I'm naming it for in like purpose. And I left the job and my full and final settlement was say X amount, okay, which I was going to receive. And they actually gave me that with my salary and it was done. And then there was some 30K left that they were going to give me after 2 months. Okay. And after 2 months, what happened is there was so much investment in my self-work. I started doing courses and sessions parallelly. So there was a lot of requirement of investing and I did not have that kind of money. So there were bills lining up, credit card use कर लिए, लेकिन अब pay भी तो करना है, वो time भी आ गया, अब कैसे करेंगे? And I have gone through this cycle a lot. Like in the first year, in the first, second year, this whole cycle of credit card and then going through the pain of thinking, how will I pay for my credit card? Salary ko kho dene ka gum. You know, every month I was getting salary for 10 years almost. And then I stopped getting salary. And I don't know bhi ka dot about business. Okay. And in 4 years today, I am going to be a business coach inside ATIPS. And it makes me dance in joy, you know, and I do it alone now. I realize that valuing your own solitude is much bigger than finding people who will validate that for you. If you are able to be in the bliss of your solitude and you don't consider it as loneliness, you don't know what will you create from there. Then everything is a bonus. Now, even when I look at my partner, since I don't expect anything in a way where he needs to do that, तो वो जब भी करता है, I'm in such a zone where I'm like, thank you यार, मतलब otherwise मैं तो मान ही रखी हूँ कि मेरा है ये. And वो भी इस वजह से नहीं कि ये victim है, because obviously my life, I am creating my life and it's not somebody else's headache. Okay. But I digressed somewhere. Where was I? Anybody?
EY.
Thanks. Thank you. So what happened after 2 months? And this is when I'm very new to this work. And I'm in a very darawa zone, that what will happen. Chhod to diya. Everybody in my family is like, pagal ho gayi ye ladki, ye wo, ye everything. Ki job kaise chhod sakte hai? Naukri nahi milega fir, ye wo, a lot of things happening. Okay. And after 2 months, I had to pay for my credit card, and EY was going to give me 30K. 30K mein nahi ho raha tha. I needed somewhere around 1.5 lakhs. 1.5 or 1.3 lakh. Aisa koi figure tha. The day I was going to pay, for example, if it is 5th, the date of payment, on 3rd, I received FNF from EY, which was 1,38,000, and it was not 30K. And they are a company which will not do this mistake. I have been with that system, that corporate system, for at least like 8 years. And these mistakes doesn't happen. And the moment that credit came, I started crying. The moment, it was like I started crying and I started feeling very guilty, because I was like, मुझे अब लौटाना होगा. अब मैं क्या करूं, मेरा तो 30K ही बाकी था, ये तो लौटाना होगा. But तब तक I had done those money classes and my money definition changed, and Gaurav came into my life by then. So I was speaking with Gaurav and he was like, Shruti, are you mad? This is the biggest message that the universe is giving you. EY is not the sender. They are just the medium. Your company is your medium. But there's always a higher force that is working for you. You got to receive it. You got to realize that. You cannot keep thinking that this is, they are controlling. Just because they were giving you salary doesn't mean they are the giver. गिवर हमेशा कोई और फोर्स होता है. और हम जब ये मानने लगेंगे ना, we will start looking at life differently. Make sense? And this will not click like this every time maybe, but even once if it does, it shows you the evidence that when you are vibrating at a frequency where you are asking things, that you will not settle for less. If you're getting less, for example, Mayank, power of choice comes here. When you're getting something which you don't want, you can say this loud and clear to the universe, I will not settle for this. Like when I increased my fee once, I remember there was like 3 to 4 months of a gap where I did not have clients. That was year 2020. Okay. And I was incessantly working on my belief system each and every day. And I was telling myself that I will value myself at this price. I will not feel good if I take less than this. So I will do whatever it takes. I will wait. I will work on myself. Educate ही करना है ना. मैं खुद को ये बोलती हूँ बार बार कि therapy is nothing but education. We are simply educating ourselves, all of us. And when we come together, the universe has a portal which is bigger and something very expansive can happen there. That's the power of collective, actually. All of our nervous systems are together in this moment. It's like a cosmic address, right? It's like a cosmic address which can be accessed by the divine field, right? So learn how to become a conduit, not a controller. Make sense? Okay, so we will end. Before ending, I have these beautiful affirmation cards by Crystal Banner, and I will take out one for each one of you. That's like the full moon affirmation for each one of you. I will also take out for Priyanka, and someone can just give a number on behalf of Priyanka. Okay. So let me just, and then we'll end, okay? And I'm sorry for taking up at least like half an hour almost of your time.
मेरा तो भी क्वेश्चन बाकी है.
Question बाकी है, वो grieving वाला, right?
हाँ.
I will cater that again sometime, but I will remember that. Okay. Maybe I will share a voice note around it because I have something. मतलब 1 minute में cater नहीं करना है. I want to talk about it. ठीक है. It's very essential actually. Can you just write that question in the group, Devesh, Chitta gang? ठीक है. लिख देना.
कॉल ऑल्सो अगर आपको वैसा कुछ है तो.
We'll see. We'll either do a call or something, but I will talk about that question. Even I had that question when I heard it for the first time in my life. कि भाई ये होता क्या है? ठीक है. And it's like very experiential, but I'll come to it. All right. So starting with Sonal, tell me the first number that comes to you between 1 and 40.
3.
3. So this is your affirmation.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
My energy flows abundantly. I love the image somehow, you
Yeah.
know. And there's a message here which I'm reading out for you. A deep reservoir of energy exists within you. When managed properly, your supply flows endlessly. Limit overexertion and prioritize rest and rejuvenation to function at your highest capacity. Draw upon your reserves as needed to take positive action and revitalize those around you. I will share this with you. Okay, but the main message is this.
Thank you.
Okay, that's your affirmation. That's what you take with this full moon. And coming to the next one. So Mayank, what is your number?
17.
17.
You don't mind.
Yeah. Oh man. Like you were saying. So I recognize synchronicities. It's not just something that will happen, Mayank. You will be able to recognize them. You will be able to recognize synchronicity. And that is your affirmation, that I recognize. So that's my superpower, probably. That is why I think of serendipity so much. Because maybe I can recognize it so much. The universe is speaking to you, so pay attention. So I'm just reading what's there, okay? The universe is speaking to you, so please pay attention. Patterns, coincidences, and serendipity are all signs of recognition, motivation, and support that you are making progress in your life path. This is so beautiful. This is like, oh God, even the words are the words that you are choosing. It's amazing. I'm going to send that. Coming to Devesh. Tell me your number.
26.
This is your affirmation. I am an active participant in my life. And the message is play an active role in your life by accepting that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you always have control over your decisions and choices. Yeah, okay, Meg. Take pride in your ability to facilitate change and own your responses to every experience, both the good and the bad.
Sorry?
Take pride in your ability to facilitate change and own your responses to every experience, both good and bad. You got to own it, not just the good, but both good and bad. Okay, so your affirmation is, I am an active participant in my life. I'm going to send these affirmations now. Sonal, can you say a number for Priyanka? Tell me a number.
8.
8. Yeah. I will not read, I'll just show the card. That's for Priyanka. I put my best self forward. That's her affirmation. I will share her message with her. Or maybe I'll just say it out here. This is getting recorded, right?
Yeah.
So let it be in the circle. So the message is you have the power to do incredible things. So why not take advantage of it? All of your preparation is paying off, and it's time you step into your greatness. Don't be afraid to show the wonderful things you have to offer. It is just now that Priyanka was considering to start her blog, and she was writing and sharing. This is like so aligned for each one of you. It's incredible. So even I will take one for me. Okay. This is my card. See, this is another affirmation.
Right.
Allow a harmonious flow of energy through your body by maintaining balanced chakras. Utilize meditation, yoga, energy healing, or aromatherapy to assist in restoring any imbalances from within. That's I have recently found myself getting interested in, distance healing and energy work. And I was like, okay, what's happening? So this is now a nice opening. All right. Thank you so much for coming today. And anything you want to say before I end? Each one of you, anything? No?
Thank you.
Most welcome.
मेरे को मतलब बहुत ही अच्छा लगा. मतलब मेरे को मॉर्निंग से ज्यादा बेटर ये सेशन लगा. नहीं, but I received more in this session than I received in the morning.
Wow.
And
sometimes, it's a bridge.
And
it's so glad. I'm so glad to know. I will. So, and I really am looking forward to, maybe not structure exactly, but meet you guys especially during new moon and full moon times, and make the best out of it. Truly, like the messages, whatever I said, even I'm going to listen to this again, actually. So do go back, listen, write, take your takeaways again, and make your best life. Don't settle for anything that doesn't suit your spirit, that doesn't align with your desire. You don't have to settle, believe me. And you don't have to hustle. Okay? Great. Chalo. Happy full moon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.